Hey, look, the Switch 2 came in today. Let's open it up. Excuse me, I'm not a box opening professional filmer. I don't normally do this, but I'm gonna give my first impressions on this. It's rare that I get a launch console on launch day, so that's just nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and rip open the tape. It's nice and easy. I brought out the knife just in case. Mario Kart, by the way, is the Mario Kart World version right there. Switch 2. And there it is. Let's go ahead and carefully take it out of the sleeve. Now, just like what Nintendo said, be careful. There is a protective film over this because to protect the screen. If you want to put your own over it, that is totally fine. But make sure you don't take off the one that's already on there. It's already applied. Don't mess with it. Now, by the looks already, I'm going to grab my original Switch that's literally right next to me. By the looks of it, the screen is definitely much bigger. The screen itself is almost the size of the entire Switch. So that's cool. So we're gonna do that. And we got the Joy-Cons here, which are also clearly a little bit bigger than original Switch, which I like. I do like a lot. Let's put that other one back. Going to open up the second one. So here are the Joy-Cons. This feels nice. I believe these are the switches for pushing the magnet out, and then you got the new C button for chat. Now let's see how clicking the magnets work. So I'm gonna look at the back to see what is was up front and the colors coordinated. So we're going to I'm trying to do this all like this. You could just nearing the Switch, you could feel the magnet. Like you can feel it, and just plops in. You can feel it, and just plops in. And there's the Switch 2. Look at this beast. That looks nice. Like that looks super nice. Now I'm gonna be mostly playing this in desktop mode or in TV mode, but when I do want to take it out on the go, this is again much more screen real estate than the original Switch by far. Not only like the size just in general, but clearly they took the 3DS approach with saving screen size, because if you could tell, the original Switch has a little bit extra plastic where a screen could have been. This, no wasted space. This is all screen. So that's super nice. Now, you can see that, yes, all the advertisements were right. C port and C port. The power button is up here with the volume. Let's go ahead and turn it on in this state, just so we could see how this looks. Now my camera might not make it look great, but here we are. I just do want to show off. Now I'm gonna do the actual setup on screen on dock mode, but I just want to show that this is how the screen looks. And again, it looks nice. If I'm gonna play it, normally like this, where my eyes are, it looks totally fine. Like I don't care that it's not OLED. Like that's never been. I didn't even buy the OLED Switch. That's not a worry for me. A game could still look fantastic without it being OLED. OLED is a buzzword for sure. Not saying OLEDs aren't great, but it's not needed. And just to kind of get the feeling of how strong the magnets are, I could hold this like this and be totally fine. And it takes some strength. You can't just accidentally push it and be like, oh no. Like, this does take like a decent amount of push. And even if you did do it accidentally, it just does a little pop. And I do like how there's little icons on the side, or a little light on the side that's like, it's off, it's on, it's off, it's on. So that is exciting. What else is in the box? Totally forgot to show that. We have Mario Kart World right here, and it is a download code. It's scratch off. You put the code in, bam. You have a manual. It's an accordion manual. So instead of a booklet, I know most companies do that, but I'd rather have a booklet personally. Not that I'm going to use this ever, and if I ever need that kind of information, I just go online because it's 2025. Here is the HDMI cord. I am glad that they're sticking with the HDMI cords. They could have gone DisplayPort and screw everybody, but they didn't. We have an HDMI cord for it. We have, now these are interesting. So the original Switch, you know, had the big slip-ons for the straps. Here they look a little more compact. They also look magnetic. So if I take these out, so there's a little lip here, and it goes into this little divot here, or a little divot here for this little connector. You just plop it in, and it just clips on. It just clips on. And we got our Joy-Con holder to make it a controller, a normal controller. Obviously works the same way as on the Switch, you know, on the actual console itself. They just magnet in, and then you have a controller. That's cool. I need to eventually get myself a Pro controller, but from what I understand, the Switch 1 Pro controllers will work on the Switch 2. Obviously not vice versa. Why would you think that? Now this dock is a beast compared to the original Switch dock. Here's the original Switch dock. Here's the Switch 2 dock. That is a beast, but because they have a fan built in the dock as well, not just into the system, that's nice. And obviously this will have all the connectors hidden away behind this panel, just like how they have it with the original Switch dock. So it is just a panel, and you see, you actually, not with my camera, you can't see, but there is HDMI, Ethernet, so this does have an Ethernet port. That is fantastic. The original does not. You have to get a USB to Ethernet adapter. Here, it's already in the system. Perfect, amazing. I could throw out that or put away that adapter. And then C-type for the actual power. Here's that C-type, double-sided C-type. And we got seems like an adapter, which is actually, it's not even out of the box yet. It's heavy though, yeah. Here's the adapter for it. It's pretty hefty. I'm not a fan of this, only because of the plug. I really hate that it's not, like, the box part isn't away from the normal plug. So that's the only negative I have seen for this entire hardware-wise box, is this. Otherwise, everything seems very, very nice. Okay, so now I'm just gonna use my stream setup for the rest of this video to show the setup and all that I'm doing. Yes, where the cat or Heather usually sits is now the box. The box gets its own chair for this episode, for this video. So first, I'm gonna be using this to set up the system, and then later I might try to set up this, and we'll see how that works. But let's just go ahead and easily go ahead and snap that one in.
And snap that one in. It works. You see the lights are on, and it is functional as a controller. It is a little bulky. It's not. This is not going to feel as good as a Pro controller. It just will not. But it is serviceable. It is functional as a on, starting with the console type controller. Compared to a Pro controller, it would definitely not be preferred. But here we are. But okay, so I have my Ethernet connected, but it's not actually doing the Ethernet. All right, so I can just hit wired connection. I didn't look hard enough, but I could just hit wire connection. Perfect. Okay. I'm like, I should be able to do wire connection, right? About to download update data. Continue setting up while the update downloads. So we do have a day one patch, just in case anybody got the game or got the system early for some reason. So while we were setting up, it is going to do the patch. That's nice. With Nintendo Switch 2, you can play games wherever you want, however you want. You can adjust the stands to get the best viewing angle. You got an AC adapter. Hold the release buttons. Kind of telling us everything we already kind of know. We could view the attachment guide on how to attach controllers. Step 1 up, step 2 over. So now let's go ahead and start this system transfer, and let's see truly how easy that is going to be. I'm going to sign in with QR code because I'd rather use my phone than to type. Alright, we're going to go ahead and enter my confirmation code. Signed into the Nintendo account. It was just that easy. My phone was already connected to my account, and my phone's already saved. Using QR codes to sign in on systems that don't have keyboards. Fantastic idea that modern technology has done. QR codes are amazing. So it's really easy to sign in. Don't even have to type anything on the console itself. Yes, I will like to move the system, source, Nintendo Switch, systems closer together. Alright, so I'm going to have to turn on the original Switch here. So, when you go into system, on the original Switch, it is basically at the bottom to transfer. Continue the setup process until you see searching for... now I have to connect to the internet on this. So, after getting the internet connected, your original Switch does have to be connected to the AC adapter in order for it to transfer. It gave me the list of games that's going to be removed from the Switch to switch into the Switch 2. I'm hoping it's going to also just going to have everything else too. Unless I have to have the SD card in order to complete that part. We will see. So I'm hoping everything will be transferred just nicely. System transfer completed. Since the system restarted, let's turn the controllers back on. We hit OK. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate videos are present in the micro SD card from your Nintendo Switch system. After this system is set up, open the Games Options menu and select Manage Software Import Video. I don't really care for the video. The theme color for the source will be carried over. So there we go. Setup complete. To go home, hit the home button. It has so much personality. That was nice. That was a nice little personality theme there. We have game chat. We have news. We have Nintendo eShop. If we open up the eShop, I do like the extra flair that this has. The reason why I'm opening up the eShop, because you know how trash the eShop is on the Switch, like just how slow it is. I just want to see how fast this is. And oh my god, things load almost immediately. Oh my god, that's nice. And if you hover over it, it will show you a trailer or pictures if it doesn't have a trailer. That's amazing. And since I have Nintendo Switch Online, I get these upgrades for free. You could pay for them if you want, apparently. But I could just update the games. I could just do that. But now let's see how easy it is to download Mario Kart. We go down here. It says enter code. I hit enter code, and I put in the code. It's right there. I hit redeem. This may take a moment. Moment's done. I now have Mario Kart World. I have the new Mario Kart. So, the eShop, much, and I mean much better. Than the Switches. Now they're giving me recommendations for probably based off of what I normally play on here. You could just scroll through and it throws a trailer at you. And they will give you recommendations every week. So that's fun. And here we are. We could download the GameCube stuff. Okay. I was able to pair my Switch 1 Pro Controller with the Switch 2. So, for anybody who is watching this video and want to know that, you 100% can do that. So, and it works how it should. The only difference between the two controllers, outside of maybe quality of the first party Switch 2 Pro controller, is that this will not have that C button, but I personally do not care about that. That's not a feature that I long for, so I'm okay with that. But that is that video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, subscribe. If you want to see even more, check the links down below. I will be streaming some Switch 2 stuff. But till next time, bye.